is how to interpret Scripture. The fourth paragraph of the lesson makes another common error in interpreting Scripture. And this one's quite profound to me. It was quite disturbing to me to find this in a quarterly that was purporting to teach us how to interpret Scripture. And the fourth paragraph reads, in short, Scripture is the foundational source of the truths that we believe and proclaim to the world. Or as the Bible itself said, quoting Scripture, quote, all Scripture is given by God, is given by inspiration of God, and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, and for instruction in righteousness, end quote, 2 Timothy 3:16. And then continuing with the quarterly. All Scripture, of course, means all Scripture, even the Scripture that we might not like, that might step on our toes, and that, to use contemporary parlance, might not be politically correct. And what is the error made here in this paragraph that's a dangerous error? And that is the way they have chosen to interpret the Scripture. Okay? They have read it, all Scripture, and this is what the version they've used, all Scripture, here's the quote, is given by inspiration of God, unquote. Well, let's think about that. Is it? What about the apocryphal books? Esdras, Tobit, Judith, Ecclesiasticus, and others. Do we consider those inspired by God? We say, well, they're not in the Bible. Well, here are the versions of the Bible that include them. The Gutenberg Bible, the Luther Bible, the Clementine Vulgate, and the King James Version of the Bible, as it was originally produced, included. It was only later that some Protestants cut it out, but the original King James, 1611, had the apocryphal books. Should we include them as Scripture? What about the pseudepigraphal books? The Maccabees, the Ethiopic Book of Enoch, Jubilees, Baruch. Should we include those? What about the Book of Mormon? Should we include that? What about the Quran? Should we include that? Aren't these Scriptures? They may not be our Scriptures, but they're Scriptures. If we take the text as they read it, all Scripture is inspired by God. Is it? No, this is a mistranslation. The way it should read is all Scripture inspired by God is useful. Now that's true. All Scripture inspired by God is useful, but not all Scripture is inspired by God. And thus, in the remedy, it reads this way. For all Scripture inspired by God is beneficial for teaching, redirecting, correcting, and training to promote character transformation so that God's ambassadors may be exceptionally competent in application of the remedy and in every other good work. I'm quite disturbed, I will just tell you, that a quarterly purported to teach us how to interpret Scripture missed that. So once we've determined that the text does mean all Scriptures that God inspired is useful, and not that all Scripture is inspired, can we accept the idea that we should use all of the inspired Scriptures and not just pick and choose a little? Even those that we find might be politically incorrect to us.